Hi, and welcome back to Cradle and the Convert. I'm Weston. Pleasure to meet you again.
I'm Andrew.
Andrew's in the background.
So, Tom, who are you?
I'm Thomas Lavender. I'm a student here at UW Platteville, and well, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Jennie Novak. I'm a student at Southwest Technical College.
So, why are you here?
I assume we're here to get interviewed because we're engaged.
You're engaged? What?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
look.
You have a ring. That's so nice. Let's see.
Yeah, it's not a ring pop. I did good.
So, you both obviously are still practicing Catholics. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on here.
Right.
I assume.
You are under oath, so just to let you know, you have to answer faithfully and truthfully.
Okay.
I didn't
God
have my
will
hand
know.
on a Bible to get this one.
We have many Bibles around. We can go get
Yeah, I
one.
was
if
gonna
you
say, there's a
really want.
stack. There's a
We
stack
have
there. I would.
Lines of them everywhere.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, you don't go to Platteville, so how'd you two meet?
We met in high school a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Freshman year of high school.
High school sweethearts.
Yo, I hate that term, but it's so true.
So, how long were you guys friends before you decided to go out? Or did she man up and
semester?
just call you out?
2 conversations. We were friends for 2 conversations before we went out. She was playing basketball.
Nice.
She was on the varsity basketball team her freshman year because she's significantly more athletic than I am. And I was going to go talk to one of the girls who I knew on the
Who you had a
team.
crush on?
I had a crush on, yes. And like 18 people were talking to her. And then I was planning on talking to you afterwards too.
The backup.
The backup. Yeah, no, she
Number
was.
2.
And I was like, oh, well, no one's talking to her right now. That's weird. She like started on varsity, like as a freshman, like you would think that someone would care. And so I went up basically and said, holy crap, how did you manage that one? Like, basically it was a conversation like that was quite impressive. And we talked a couple times afterwards.
Yep.
And then you asked me to dance, and then we started talking a lot. After I figured out that your phone number was written wrong on the sheet. She wrote her phone number on the sheet, and one of the numbers I couldn't read, and so I totally texted a random number, and then just kind of let it sit, because that's what you do when you do something wrong in life. You just like pretend it didn't happen.
Yep.
And then she was smart and got my number from a friend,
I
and we
was
started
like,
talking a lot.
He's not texting me. And then I kind of went like, I'll find it. So I did.
Yeah, so she went after me.
She's persistent.
I was.
Yeah, that was
He
a dumb move. That was
He
a dumb
was
move.
funny, so I thought I'd go for it.
So yeah, it's one of those things where we really didn't we weren't really friends for a long time before we started dating, which I would generally
to each other.
recommend against.
Very
would
much
be
so.
would be what I would say, but we kind of had a unique experience of becoming really good friends through dating. So that was good.
Yeah.
And we did handle it quite well in that sense. Some days. Other days we did not. But yeah, we really became really, really good friends through dating, and kind of found our vocation to marriage through that somewhere in our junior year of high school.
So, what would you say was the hardest part of not being friends before you started dating?
The hardest part was not knowing anything about each other.
Yeah, we had to play like 20 questions.
Yeah, we would literally play
awesome.
a game where we would literally ask each other questions, and if you were comfortable answering the question, you'd answer the question. And and none of them, there weren't, anything deep or anything like that, but it was just like,
What's your favorite color?
I don't know anything about you, like, and I want to know things about you because you're fun and we want to hang out and we want to be together, but we just didn't have anywhere to start. Like, I know you played sports. I know that about you.
I knew you played sports. That's
Right,
why I
but
asked you
I mean,
out.
I don't know how many siblings you have. I don't know what your parents are like. I don't know anything. And so
Yep.
it was interesting. Like I said, not recommended, but it did work for us.
Yep.
Because we're pretty
roundabout
laid
way.
back and it worked out. But
Yeah.
It happens.
we made it work.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Stuff like that, though. I mean, you'd have to do that all the time because, yeah, like I said, we really didn't know a whole lot about each other. And so,
When I asked him out, I knew he was tall, athletic, and cute.
and she was wrong about one of those. 2 of them. She's wrong about 2 of them.
You are definitely
I am
tall.
You're
still
not
tall.
athletic. You're not cute.
Nope.
But I'm still tall. But yeah, it's kind of early dating. We decided to get married our junior year of high school, which is probably a little earlier than most
We did
people.
not tell
So
our parents,
long
though.
engagement.
Yeah, that was no, yeah,
No,
pretty
that was
much.
that's when we started talking about it and being
What?
Oh,
Started talking about it and decided that we should pray on it before we do anything because we couldn't. But it was our junior year of high school. We basically, after a lot of talking about it, we basically sat down and said, the moment someone can make a paycheck, we're pulling the trigger. And we didn't know when that was. We didn't know what that would mean.
go Walmart paycheck.
We were, yeah, right. we were totally serious. I mean, it was the point where it was like, I wanted you to pursue your degree, but if you really wanted to like go work, I'd be like, all right, high school graduation, like, let's just go. Like, let's get engaged. Let's get this thing done. Because we really knew we wanted to live our lives together and work for each other, but we didn't really have the ability to until we were a little closer to this. So, yeah, that's been nice, being able to actually do that.
Yeah.
So you guys actually separated from colleges. You went to different colleges, which actually isn't normally heard of when people are sexually dating in high school. Normally they go to the same colleges. Yeah. So
or they break up.
Yeah.
Or they break up. Yes. Bad things happen. Anyways.
Right.
How would you say that affected your relationship by being apart from each other like that?
It was really hard. I went to Whitewater for like 2 weeks beforehand. And so the first month, we really didn't talk a whole ton.
Right.
And the first time we started like Snapchatting or something.
Yeah.
I saw his face and I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of want to cry because I haven't seen you in so long. Like, that was my reaction to it. So it was hard, but
we had to work really hard at it. I mean, when people are scared of long-distance relationships, I agree with them. It is a little terrifying. It's hard, but some things are worth working for.
You're right.
Yeah.
We would Skype all the time. We came back to the same area all the time.
It was a lot of driving to do it. I mean, it was like I had to drive 2.5 hours back here. You had to drive back after a practice or after a game or something like that.
Right.
We got like a day together, and then it was back to our stuff again. It was really difficult.
And it's hard with me being in soccer too, because I was constantly doing
that
stuff.
first month, I think it was 5 weeks that you were gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really funny because we went back to the homecoming football game at our high school because it was just one of those things where it's like we were both open that weekend, so it was like, great, let's go.
Yep.
Well, I had practice that day. I had to drive. I drove home. I had to drive to practice and then back home.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That was.
But it was like, fine, we can finally make this work. So we caught each other at the homecoming football game, and yeah, it had been like 5 weeks. It was one of those things where you don't realize how long it had been. And it was like, you look different. That's something you normally say. You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, she had been playing soccer for 5.
You chose your words wisely, correct?
I mean, she was she was working out more. She was probably stronger than me at that point.
You look buff, bro.
Basically. No, I mean, I had stopped working out. She had started working out, so she went, oh, you look different. I went, you look different.
Yeah, that's how that conversation
No,
went.
it definitely didn't.
Oh.
But no,
where did your cuteness go? It's gone.
All those muscles. Oh no.
Yeah, like I had much. I was pretty scrawny always.
Sure.
Yeah. But no, it was interesting. It was hard, I would say.
It was really hard.
So what would you say is the one thing that actually kept you guys together?
Our commitment to continue talking and like stay with each other.
Cool.
Right. We kind of don't let each other let things get in the way. By that, and I mean like it. You know, if something's an issue and something's a problem, then we both know that it's our responsibility to make sure that we get in there and fix it.
It took a while to get there.
Well, but that's not abnormal. I mean, 5 years isn't that long to learn something.
I guess that's true.
So yeah.
But we would just constantly talk too. Like, even if we went to school together, of course, and then after school it would be like, whenever we could text, we would, or talk, we would.
Yeah, it is.
That's still a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So just like talking every day and the commitment to being like talking to each other and sharing each other's days and like.
Yeah, and I'm very stubborn about being very technical about things. So we were, yeah, I know, shocker.
We have confirmation from the sidelines.
Yeah, exactly. But so it was something that helped us a lot is that we were very precise in our values together and what we thought and what we knew, and we were very precise in how we talked about certain things. So one of the things we learned really early on is that even though we're frustrated at each other and mad and you're not happy, you still tell them that you love them. Why? Because loving them isn't an emotion, it's an action.
Yeah.
So it's important that you differentiate those two things, and that you don't let that get in the way. Because I'm mad at you, and I absolutely still love you. That's why I'm here talking to you. Like, I wouldn't want to be doing that otherwise. But yeah, so it's stuff like that that really helped us, I would say, and being so far away because there wasn't gray space and all that. We didn't have to doubt things because we were very open and honest with each other, and all of our problems that we were dealing with.
Sometimes too open and honest.
What? If you ask me if the dress makes you look fat, Jenny, you're gonna get an answer. No, I'm kidding. She's never asked because she knows I'll give an answer.
That's true.
Yeah.
So the first time that this happened, how did that go? No, we won't get into that.
You're gonna throw me under the
I
bus
wouldn't
again.
remember that.
Here's a fun question. Who said I love you first?
He did.
Way too early.
Define way too early.
3 weeks. No,
Nice.
I
3 or
joked.
2.
we're gonna go 3 because it makes me sound a little better.
Yeah.
No, I said
2.
it first, but I didn't mean it first.
That's
I would
true.
definitely say I was being a little stupid. I would say.
You didn't love her as a child of God. You're a terrible man. How could you date this man?
I
Well,
didn't know what love was at that time.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we had to talk a lot about all that. No, but it was something that was definitely said, and then was probably not entirely backed up with how I lived for a decent amount of time there. But we were also 15 at the time, so whoops.
Cool.
As I say, young and stupid.
Yeah, definitely.
Young and stupid, words to take away. When you guys were obviously still in college, you are still in college, you're graduated?
No, I'm still.
No, you're
We're
still
the
in
same
college.
year.
Oh, so you're both in college.
We've got 2 more years.
Fantastic.
We're getting married next year. We both got 2 more years of school.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest contributor to you staying around the faith?
Well, you go first. I'm kidding. That was totally mean. No, I honestly think that I grew up Catholic. My parents were very good on all their bases. So they knew their stuff and they lived their stuff. And I've got 7 brothers and sisters, not all of which are still Catholic.
Okay.
But I can honestly say that is through no fault of their upbringing. So yeah,
Okay.
obviously people do have free will. This might be a surprise to someone. But
What?
yeah, so it's really my background, I would say. I picked here at St. Augustine because of its reputation.
What about you?
I don't know. A lot of me going to and staying in the faith is part of him because
Aww.
he brought me back into it.
That's not entirely false. Yeah, she was not a practicing Catholic when we started dating.
So you're a convert.
No. She
You're
was
a
just...
reaver.
I just took a break.
Revert might be a little strong. So you got your first communion, but that is really about it, right?
I
You
was
had never been to
baptized, First
confession.
communion, never been
I'm
to
going to claim
confession.
that as a convert, so that's what we're doing.
You're actually not that far off
Not far
because
off,
it...
no.
Or wait, were you baptized in the Catholic Church?
Right.
All right, you're a revert.
She's
Cradle.
definitely a revert, but
I didn't know a whole ton though.
Right,
So it's-
certainly not.
I had to learn a lot.
everything
coming
was
in.
definitely new. Funny story, when she did her first confession, well, yeah, I didn't know that it was. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going. You should just go too. And she's like, I don't really know how. And I'm like, oh, they'll help you. It's all good, like whatever. And then like a week later, you admitted to me like, yeah, I had never done that before. That was definitely my first time. And I was like, sweet. So you had no idea what was going on. Maybe we should talk about this.
Nice.
It's probably valid or something. I don't know. I think you definitely knew what you were doing. It just wasn't. You just never done it before.
Yeah, I just talked to the father and have him talk me through it.
Yeah.
There you
They're,
go.
they're very good about that. I still do that.
Oh
So
yeah.
was your first confession here then? Or?
Oh, absolutely.
No,
That was back.
That was like
Oh, it was in high
We
school?
We were
High
15 or
school.
16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got it done early versus like now in college.
Right, no, definitely. Yeah, so it started out when we started dating, you didn't really go to mass a
didn't.
ton, and then when we
Not-
started dating, you started
I
to.
was that backseat Catholic who went down the holidays.
Yeah, she was
Cheester.
a creaster or whatever you call them, right?
Cheester.
Yeah, I always joke that
Creaster?
my parents were the opposite. There were 2 days of the year they didn't go to mass, and it was Easter and Christmas because they went during the vigil masses.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Okay.
I always joke
I was
that.
like, where are you going with this?
Right, exactly.
They didn't go on Christmas or Easter. They didn't care.
No, it was the only 2 masses in the year that they would not show up. They went
Okay.
every other day, and then of course those vigil masses they don't normally have a morning mass for. They do
Yeah.
exist in the rite, but they didn't. No one really offers them, so they did that. So yeah, Jenny was definitely a creaster,
I was.
and she started going to mass when we started dating a little bit, and really started to find her groove.
Yeah.
And she was into club soccer a lot.
Yeah.
Played a lot of club soccer.
Oh, a ton.
A lot of
Soccer
weekend
players.
tournaments.
Yeah, it was hard on the weekends, but his dedication to going to mass was kind of what helped me to realize my dedication to going to mass.
So it may have been a few discussions about her going to mass after her soccer tournaments on the
I would
weekends.
come back on a Sunday after being gone all weekend and just not want to go at all. Like, I just want to sleep, go home, do nothing, but
So we would
No
bargain.
one's ever been there before. No one has ever thought about
Yeah.
skipping mass because they were tired or just didn't want to go.
Right. So we would bargain, and it would start with like, okay, so can we make it on time?
Yep.
It's like, yeah, we can probably make it on time. So I'd have gone that morning not knowing that you would need to, and then I'd say, all right, I'll pick you up. Right when you get back, we'll throw you in the car
I
and we'll go,
couldn't
right?
drive at that time either.
Oh my goodness, we were so young.
You're so old. I just can't
Well, I
believe
know,
it right
right?
now.
I know. But so then it would be like, all right, so we have time, right? Okay, that's the first thing. So we have time. And then it'd be like, how tired are you? And it'd be like, are we literally going in like muddy soccer uniform, or are you gonna grab a shower first and actually throw on something that wasn't? And normally it was muddy soccer uniform.
No.
Not normally, but often enough. Let's say.
I would throw on some nice clothes.
Dude, I can distinctly remember looking over at you. You were wearing a dress, and you just had like this giant mud streak down your leg. I was like, nice.
Dedication.
So that definitely is where it started.
That is.
And I would say that you never really, correct me if I'm wrong, but you never really got like fully into it in your own until you probably went to college at Whitewater, and you had to basically fight really hard to go to Mass. With being on the team and stuff, and you would really make time.
Right, that's where I started dedicating myself to Mass. Before that, I was like, I'll go, and I would have to like beg rides from my family members trying to like get to Mass. So I was like, all right, but when I went to college is when I actually had to like work for it and actually find time to
skip
go.
dinner on a day with 2 practices and 3 other workouts, and hey, I can't go to dinner, I have to go to Mass. And the coaches were not super kind about it. They weren't jerks. They were okay. They let you go, but they were like, "Have fun not eating dinner tonight."
Right? They're like, "Yeah, you can go."
Yeah.
But thank you so much, guys, for coming on and just sharing your experience with everybody. It's just a pleasure to have you guys. And, I hope that your story really inspires a lot of people out there. I'm Weston from Cradle and the Convert. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly of all,
I'm Thomas. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Right, I got that.